Ladies and gents, hello comrades, welcome back to Democracy 4. My name, of course, is Open Potato. We are still playing as the socialist state of the United Kingdom. I'm very much hoping and suspecting that this might just be our last episode, because I'm hoping over the course of this episode to achieve achievements like we've never achieved before. I'm hoping that we can achieve almost every single socialist achievement that we possibly can. We've already got this one right here, and I now know the conditions to get all of the other achievements, so that is what we are going to do. The achievements that I'm specifically going to aim to get over the course of this last episode: living in the future. It's not a particularly socialist one, but it requires internet speed, technology, space program, Mars program, and driverless car laws as well. So I figure it's kind of socialist-ish. Socialist-ish? Socialist, sure. Intergalactic Socialism is definitely something that we're going to go for. This just requires the space program and the Mars program to be at a sufficiently high level, so I suspect that we're just going to get this one anyway, but I guess we will see. We're also going to go for Squeeze the Rich, which is over in this area over here. This requires the luxury goods tax, the frequent flyer, the punitive wealth tax, the cap CEO pay multiplier, and inheritance tax, all at pretty darned high levels. What else are we going to go for? We're going to go for Workers' Wonderland as well, which should be, yep, right here. Workers' Wonderland requires working week to be very, very low, wages to be high, labor laws to be high, cap CEO pay multiplier, trade union, some trade union stuff, and government subsidies for trade unions. And we're also going to be going for top marks, which requires high equality, high socialist percentage, high punitive wealth tax, ban private education, and ban private healthcare. I think that we're probably going to start with the top marks one, if you ask me. Environmental protests are going to be starting up. I think that we can mostly contain all of the bad stuff that seems to be happening. Pollution, I mean, look, that may very well continue just forever as far as I'm concerned. The rare earth crisis, that may stick around, it may not stick around. We'll just have to wait and see. We're maxing out our GDP, of course, so I mean, everything is great. Everything is great. And I should say, like, straight off the bat, whilst we're implementing the banning of private healthcare and banning of private education, which we're gonna have to wait until next turn to do. That's fine. What achievements do you want me to see? Do you want to see me hit next? I'm thinking something police statey. I mean, we've not really messed around with the law and order section too much. So why the heck don't we give that a shot? That's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Extradited hacker convicted. Excellent. That's looking good. Respiratory disease is on the up and up, unfortunately. I don't understand why. It should be very, very low. But that's fine. All right, let's see if we can ban private education. There we go. Ban private education. Everyone is in favor of it. Let's fully fund it. I don't think it does have to be above 75%, but, you know, we're going to max it out because what the heck? I mean, we need as many socialists as we can possibly get, right? We're still after every single person in the country being socialist. That is still an achievement that we are looking to get. Not a specific achievement, but a personal achievement nonetheless, and that's just as important, isn't it, comrade? Right, the water shortage is being hopefully changed by the Climate Adaptation Fund. I thought that on this low level we could sustain climate change, or we could stop the climate from deteriorating, but it turns out that is a lie. Food price is going to skyrocket. It is absolutely going to skyrocket, and there's almost nothing that we can do about it because I don't really have a huge surplus at this moment in time. I mean, look, you know, there are a couple of things that we can do for sure, but there's not altogether too much that we can do. We pretty much maxed out our potential income. Right, let's ban private healthcare. Let's go right up to the max. Boom. Equality is up. Capitalists hate it. Wealthy people hate it, but that's okay. I mean, there are hardly any wealthy people. There are hardly any wealthy people in the country anyway. Look at the income. The income has gone way down. CEO pay multiplier has already been capped, which is great. Do we have a punitive wealth tax? I think we may have a punitive wealth tax already implemented, if I'm not mistaken. No, we do not have a punitive wealth tax. Well, you know what? We can look forward to next turn when we do get the punitive wealth tax. I'm very, very excited. But yeah, you know what? Let me know. I don't know why I did that. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you want me to try and achieve next time. I'm always looking for themed democracy runs. Corporate exodus. I mean, you know what? That's fine. I think that we can sustain it, to be honest. The technological advantage that we have is... it's doing great. It's doing wonders for us. Unfortunately, though, the rare earth crisis is seeking to bring it down. What do you know? We've already hit our first achievement. It's literally that simple. Was that the one that we were shooting for? No, it wasn't actually the one that we were shooting for. It is one that we were aiming for, but it was not the one that we were shooting for in the first instance. Top marks was what we were going for. But either way, we flippin' did it. Workers Wonderland, congratulations to me. Comrade, we did it. We all managed to pull together and do it. Okay, so what's next? The Punitive Wealth Tax is what we need to introduce next. Now, of course, people are going to dislike this. And importantly, the Punitive Wealth Tax needs to be set at above 75% for... I don't actually know how many rounds it's for. Let me just check real quickly. Yeah, so it needs to be above 74% or 75% for 4 rounds. So we'll just max it out because what the heck, right? What the heck? I mean, this could lead to tax evasion. I don't actually know if it's going to lead to tax evasion, but certainly we can stay on the lookout for that. So that should be all of the conditions that we need in order to get top marks. It's going to take 4 turns. I'm going to prevent the database so that we will appease the liberals, which is always good. But yeah, so that should be top marks lined up, I believe. I mean, equality is in a really, really great place at the moment. I mean, the reason that we have an egalitarian society modifier is because equality is so darned high, which is wonderful. So we ban private education, we ban private healthcare. Punitive Wealth Tax is also introduced now, and it should just take 4 turns. That's grand. Socialist percentage is also sufficiently high, I believe. I'm hoping, by the way, that we're going to be able to max this out, although I am actually kind of doubtful, because it's just tough. It's really tough to do. It's really tough to max out our socialist percentage. So, you know, we're doing our best. We're doing our best, but it may not happen. Anyway, the other thing that we need to consider is a luxury goods tax, which is, I mean, pretty unpopular, frankly, but it's something that we need to do nonetheless. Okay, Nobel Peace Prize, excellent. We're popular with the liberals. Corporate exodus is good. Corporate exodus is good. Now, there is actually a way that we can counter this corporate exodus. There is a way that we can counter it, and we've done it before. We've had capital controls in place before. We'll wait until next turn to see if we're actually going to need to introduce them, because I think at the moment we might just be fine. We might be able to get away with it. I mean, honestly, our GDP is really, really good at this moment in time. It's really, really good. But if I did need to introduce it, it would cost 50. It would cost 50, and I have a maximum of 44 political capital on this turn. I mean, how much political capital are each of these people giving me? 2.6, I think, is the max. You're not giving me the max. You're not... Yeah, so you're not giving me the max. You're not giving me the max. And you're not giving me the max. No, you are giving me the max. Sorry. It's you that's not giving me the max. So I need to appease trade unionists and commuters. Commuters, motorists, just in general, do not like me. Do not like me at all. I mean, if I could either perhaps like just wipe out motorists, get rid of motorists, that would be excellent. But I can't. We do need to introduce driverless car bits and bobs, like driverless car tech, I think. That is one of the major... That is one of the major things that we need to introduce. And we need 28 political capital in order to do that. I mean, honestly, that might be something to get done, like, right now. Yeah, you know, I'm curious. I'm curious about this. I am very, very curious about this. The rare earth crisis, the rare earth metal mining, we're already maxing that out, unfortunately. Technology. Our technology is so darned high that it is literally exacerbating the rare earth metal mining. It's a big old problem. Mars program, by the way, is not at 75% yet, which is, I think, the achievement threshold for Intergalactic Socialism. We're definitely heading towards it. We're definitely heading towards it. It's definitely happening. I have no idea what the heck is going to happen when we get it. I don't know if it modifies anything. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, look, is there anything that we can cut back on? Debt interest is still, like, unbelievably high, but irritatingly, the debt to GDP ratio just ain't gonna change from here. I mean, it can degrade, and I don't want it to degrade, obviously. But But unfortunately, it's not going to get any better because we capped out our GDP. We cannot actually improve our GDP at all, which means that we can't improve our debt to GDP percentage, which is really, really, really irritating, if you ask me. But there we go. That's just my opinion. Okay, well, I think we should hold on to our political capital this turn. We got 22 political capital coming in next turn. This is going to be a big turn, actually. Like, I don't say that often. Actually, that's a lie. I say that often. Frankly, I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried that we're going to just lose a whole bunch of GDP here. Okay, we didn't actually lose a whole bunch of GDP. I was worried that the corporate exodus would just completely sink our GDP and therefore mean that we'd have to pay back a huge amount of extra debt. I'm not gonna say that I'm unhappy about the fact that that didn't happen. I am obviously very, very happy that that did happen. Environmental protests, I mean, look, this is only gonna tickle GDP, to be honest. The traffic congestion thing is more of a pain in the backside, because let's be real, it's increasing the membership of the motorist group, and that is vastly the opposite of what I want to currently accomplish. We are running a really, really decent surplus. We've managed to pay down our debt in the short term, which is kind of nice. That's very nice, I would say. I tell you what if rather than going after what did I say that I was going to go after? Rather than going after like luxury goods or capital controls or anything, why don't I actually introduce the driverless car laws things? Now, I'm almost certain that the driverless car laws, yeah, so we're gonna have to make a decision on what we want to do here. Whoa, industrial automation just falls right off. Either way, this is just straight up good for everyone. Industrial automation is gonna go through the flipping roof. Costs us 16, not 16 political capital, sorry. Costs us what, 20 whatever 44 minus 16 is. That's how much political capital it costs. Anyway, the point that I was trying to make is that we can appease Charlotte Martin. We can improve her loyalty to me, which gives me more political capital, which allows me to increase my maximum held political capital, because it's only after increasing my maximum political capital that I'm actually going to be able to impose capital controls, because you need 50 political power in order to do that. So that's a little while away, I would say. The teachers' strike, let's be frank, is not going to end anytime soon. Not with labor laws like this, that's for sure. Not at all. The number of trade unionists as well is just crazy. Then the wages are at, I mean, they're as high as they can be, frankly. They cannot get any higher. I'm just conscious of the fact that I do not want to see my surplus disappear. And it can be easy. It can be easy to just spend all of your money. So I don't want to do that. Let's ban face recognition in public. Technology takes a hit for that. I don't think that's an accurate representation of what would actually happen if that did happen in real life, but hey ho. I mean, look, things are good. Things are good. Things are good. Things are very, very good. I just do not understand why we're not able to just get across the line. Ooh, selective schooling. Yeah, this is a brand new policy. I say a brand new policy. It's a policy that's been changed recently, and we can tone it right down and increase membership of the socialist voter group, which honestly we might well do. Do I want to do that now on this turn though? I don't think I do. I don't think I do at all. I want to introduce a luxury goods tax. That's what I do want to introduce. Now, this luxury goods tax needs to be... It needs to be... How big does it need to be? It needs to be pretty high, if I can recall. Maybe we don't need the luxury goods tax. Yeah, no, we do. Okay, it needs to be above 75%, and it needs to be above 75% for 4 rounds. So you know what? Let's flip and max it out. Let's max it out. It's not going to do anything for anyone, unfortunately. It makes socialists happy, but socialists, I mean, it's a pity. It's a pity that socialist happiness cannot be measured further than or higher than the top of this graph, because if it could be, I guarantee you it would be very, 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 very high. Okay, so thankfully our GDP hasn't crumbled yet, but I'm kind of anticipating that it will crumble. I'm also anticipating that the food price is going to be is going to be heading off the charts in a little bit. We are going to be getting to food crisis territory, but that's okay. It's gonna be fine. Ignore all of the problems that we're having. It's okay. All right, next turn, let's see. Driverless cars. Driverless cars. Food crisis is about to develop. I mean, look, I can't do anything about this. I said that this was coming. Here it is. It's arrived. GDP still maxed out. Excellent. Factory farming law. I mean, if I do this, will it impact the food crisis? I don't think it will. I don't think it will at all. It's pretty pointless. It's pretty pointless. We are running a £22 billion surplus now, which is absolutely incredible. I will say, the income of the state has just about doubled since the start of the game, but the expenditure of the state has also just about doubled since the start of the game. So, I mean, you know, we've improved things, but we've also made things a little bit worse. Anyway, cap CEO pay multiplier, that's been implemented. Inheritance tax, oh yes. Did I not cancel inheritance tax? I may very well have cancelled inheritance tax. I haven't really looked at that in a little while. If I haven't cancelled it, then it's still around. Now, which one of these is an inheritance tax? This one. This has got to be it. Inheritance tax. Excellent. Okay, so we need to make sure that this is maxed out as much as we possibly can. It's going to cost us 30 political capital to do. It's actually a very, very unpopular policy, but that's fine. Let's spend 15 political capital doing that this turn. Excellent. The other thing that I was going to check was driverless cars. Which symbol is a driverless car? That's an electric car. That's a low MPG car. That's a telecommuting initiative. Which one is the driverless car? I have implemented it. It'll be in motorists. Let me have a little look. Let me click through here. Driverless car laws. It's, crazily enough, it's the one without the picture of the person there. It's the one right in the middle, Potato. You dingus. You total dingus. Okay, so that's coming online. Implementation delay of 2 turns, so that's fine. I mean, we've got another turn to wait before we'll see the full impact of that. What else do we need to implement at this moment in time? Internet speed? What's our internet speed? And how the heck do we even check out our internet speed? Internet speed is such a weird nebulous thing to test. It is productivity. Does internet speed factor into productivity? I mean, that's nonsense, the fact that internet speed doesn't factor into productivity. I mean, that is absolutely a connection that should be made there. Yeah, internet speed. Okay, we need to increase our internet speed. It needs to be above 0.8, and it's just not. How on earth do we get high-speed internet in this place? State Telecoms Company? Do we... No, State Telecoms Company is actually advancing it. Maybe it was the telecoms industry. If we boosted the telecoms industry, maybe that would make a difference. I'm pretty sure that it's an economy. I mean, what can we do? I don't think there's any way that we can actually increase our internet speed. There's an internet tax. There's an internet tax which we did introduce and then we canceled, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe that was the internet law. There was an internet law of internet censorship, which is vastly unpopular. But I don't think that there's another way to increase our internet speed. At least not as far as I'm aware. So that might be the only thing that we have an issue actually doing. So there you go. But apart from that, I mean, apart from inheritance tax not being as high as it needs to be, I think we're almost there on almost everything. Share IPO cancelled. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. I mean, GDP takes a little bit of a hit, but I'm going to make the assumption that that is fine. Brain drain. Yeah, the luxury goods tax will do that. It will definitely do that. It will definitely do that for you. I mean, look, we're trying to keep as many people here as we possibly can. Oh boy, look at that. Top Marx. If Karl Marx was alive today, he would be applying for citizenship right here. We've built a socialist paradise on Earth, mostly by banning anything that looks a bit too capitalist. Preach it. To each according to their needs, and so on. How excellent. Top marks. We have the approval of the man himself. Brilliant to see. Absolutely brilliant. Now, can we introduce capital controls? No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. The motorist in you is still unbelievably put off. I mean, can we reduce satellite pricing? I mean, is that gonna... No. Car usage, unfortunately, is just a little bit high. If I could reduce car usage, then that would be great. Does oil demand... Oil demand feeds into oil price, which feeds into car usage, I think, doesn't it? Motorist membership, yeah. And motorist membership affects car usage, if I'm not mistaken. Or not. I guess not. Road building. You know what? Let's just, like... I wish I could just cancel road building. Or maybe I just spend more on road building. Maybe I just spend as much money as I possibly can on road building. Sure, you know what? That's a quick fix. It's a quick fix. I say it's a quick fix. It's a quick fix to make motorists happy with me, which is going to make me, hopefully, more political capital. It's all a political game. It's all a political game to try and get more political capital so that I'm going to be able to, hopefully, introduce capital controls to stop all of these horrible companies from leaving my country. Okay, liberals like me, parents do not like me at this moment in time. Can I introduce some, like, parenting classes or something? Parents hate respiratory disease. Which I frankly don't understand. I don't understand why respiratory disease is even happening at this moment in time. But hey-ho. Probably in part to do with the fact that the environment is in a completely terrible state and we really should do better. Hybrid cars initiative, microgeneration grants. I mean, yeah, sure, we should do something to do with that. Free parenting classes. Let's do free parenting classes. That's definitely going to make a little bit of an impact, even if it's minor. It's still fine. Bus subsidies, close airports completely. Maybe we close airports completely, although I don't want to tank GDP. Enterprise investment scheme, health food subsidies, plastic bag tax. Plastic bag tax. Sure. Absolutely. Capitalists barely exist anymore, so that's fine. Membership of the group, though, unfortunately, is still stubbornly high. There doesn't seem to be any way to get it down. Okay. Well, this is quite a turn. This is quite a turn. GDP back up to max. Lovely. Even with a corporate exodus and brain drain. Although brain drain... Yeah, brain drain does affect GDP, irritatingly. But that's okay. Maybe we can stop this as well. Productivity is going to hit new lows, unfortunately. I say new lows. It's gonna start dropping again. The food crisis is irritatingly again gonna just exist. I might need to boost agriculture subsidies or something. Fishing quotas. We're gonna reject quotas. Sure, farmers love that. That's excellent. Okay, good stuff. Right, we've got a surplus of 11 billion, which is great. Also, something I should have highlighted: driverless cars. That's now a thing. That's now a thing. All we needed to do was introduce the driverless car laws, and suddenly, boom, 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 right up. Increase of GDP, increase of car usage. That's not so hot. Not so hot at all. Unemployment does actually increase because of driverless car usage. That's kind of funky, to be honest. I don't know why. Also, how are we doing electrically? Electrically, as in electric cars. How are our electric cars doing? Electric car initiative. Electric car transition. Strangely enough, we've not maxed out the electric car transition yet. Yeah, weird. Petrol tax. Do we want to pump up the petrol tax a little bit for an extra $500 million, upsetting the motorists? It's just not really worth it, to be honest. It's just not really worth it. Yeah, I mean, maybe we can introduce another couple of transport policies. That might be an idea. The water shortage is showing no sign of getting better, but that's because I'm not really taking action on it. I need to, in an ideal world, right? I need to be funding the Climate Change Adaptation Fund, but I'm just not. I'm just not funding it. It's just not worth it, really, at this point, so there we go. Yeah, no, what I need is a super duper high-speed internet... super high-speed internet program for my country. Is that possible? I don't think so. I do not think so. Transport congestion charging, new car subsidies, subsidized school buses, clean fuel subsidy. I'm pretty sure... I'm pretty sure that we can get both of these, which is great. Biofuel subsidies, I know for a fact. I know for a fact that biofuel subsidies is going to end up increasing the price of food. I was going to check out agriculture subsidies, wasn't I? Yeah, what's the price that we're currently paying for agriculture subsidies? This costs me $1 billion a turn, and I get absolutely nothing out of it because we have no CO2 emissions. Hilarious. Yeah, agriculture subsidies is around here somewhere, unless I cancelled it. Maybe I cancelled it? I can't seem to remember doing that. Consumer rights. Workers on boards. No, maybe I did. Maybe I did cancel agriculture subsidies. I don't think I did, though. It will be in the price of food. Let me have a little look here. Food price. Agriculture subsidies. It's around there somewhere. I just don't see it. Anyway, yeah, it's not maxed out, and it could be. It definitely could be. It's gonna cost a lot of money, but I think maybe we should do it. It's gonna decrease our oh boy, not good, not good. All of the bad stuff has just started happening all at once, which is never ideal. What's our political capital max now? It's still 44. Still 44, irritatingly, but hey-ho. This brain drain is having a big old effect. At least nobody's dodging tax, right? At least nobody's dodging tax. At least not yet. But the fact that the brain drain is as bad as it is a problem. It is a problem. It is a problem. Internet speed. I mean, internet speed. How on earth is this just so darn slow? Internet tracking? I mean, is there something that I can introduce to fix that? Also, where the heck did our surplus come from? Did I cut back on something? I don't think I cut back on anything. Okay, driverless cars are maxed out, which is excellent. Corporate exodus. Again, that's still a thing. Pollution. I doubt pollution's going to end. Honestly, I'm just anticipating our GDP getting worse, which is bad. Welfare fraud department? How is that now super popular? I thought socialists really despised the welfare fraud department. Also, I think we might have reached like a natural cap. Mandatory micro regeneration. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think I introduced the internet tax. And that would almost certainly make a big difference. Speed cameras. People like speed cameras, although it takes a lot of political capital to introduce. Yeah, I don't know. A right to privacy? Maybe a right to privacy would make an impact, would make a difference. Sure, I guess we can introduce a right to privacy. See if that makes any difference. I suspect that this is going to be one of those policies that once we introduce, we're not able to cancel. This is a GDP policy? It affects GDP? That's a bit of a pain in the backside. Again, no sign of anything internet related. Internet currency taxation. Is there any way that I can encourage internet currency growth? I don't think so. I can't even fund broadband, which is a pain in the backside. Compulsory food labeling. Plant-based diets. Honestly, the more plant-based diets that we have, the better, actually. In this game, it straight up just works. Like, the more the merrier. And actually, that does negatively affect the water shortage, which I would love to get rid of. The fact that everything seems to impact GDP, though, is frankly irritating. An enterprise investment scheme. Yeah, it's not happening. Anything transport related? I mean, biofuel subsidies, as we've already discussed, is going to... Sure. I should have criticized, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter when the socialists love us as much as they do. Okay, unemployment actually picked itself off the ground for a second there, and that is a big pain in the backside. Not something that I ever want to see happen. GDP is plummeting, which is a disaster. We're about to have some Luddite riots, which is also terrible. Yep, there is almost nothing that we can do about this. We could fund the police, which would be half a solution, but not the whole problem. Not the whole solution to the problem, anyway. You are still giving me absolutely zero political capital. I mean, I need capital controls. I need them yesterday, for goodness sake. I mean, we're about to slip into a deficit here. We are about to slip into a deficit. Honestly, all I need to do is cure my debt interest problem, and we are fine. Speaking of debt interest, where are we with the other achievements? Private space industry, which crazily enough is not impacted by the space program or the Mars program. Mars program is above 75% now, which is great, which means that we might just be in with a chance of getting the Intergalactic Socialism achievement, which is very, very fun indeed. But yeah, the internet speed just really, it's just not going anywhere. It's just not going anywhere. Internet tracking, I mean, I don't think internet tracking is affected by anything. Because I can't click on it. I can click on State Telecoms Company and Technology. Technology is maxed out. State Telecoms Company, well, we know the State Telecoms Company doesn't actually exist. But if I was to reduce funding for it, then that would actually decrease the internet speed, which I don't want to do. The only way that I can think of increasing it is by putting like a tax on the internet and then going the other way. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. I guess we'll do that. We'll give it a shot. I mean, look, I've tried this before, but we'll implement that. And then we'll implement the next thing. I had a target for gender equality, and I apparently failed that. I did not even realize. That is entirely my bad. Okay, well, you know what? If some of you choose not to vote for me because I didn't raise gender equality enough, then you know what? So be it. But it looks like I'll be plenty popular without fulfilling my manifesto commitments. Excellent. 99% of the vote. Love to see it. Who's not making me political capital? You're not making me political capital. It's literally just you. Literally just you. Welcome back in. Right. Religious, capitalist. I'm looking for loyalty. Give me loyalty, please. Patriot and a liberal. Honestly, welcome on board. Congratulations, you've got the job. Right, GDP's in the gutter. It's decreasing dramatically. I need max political capital, and I need max political capital right now. I need to do this. I need to save this. Very important. Okay, technology might take a little bit of a hit due to the internet tax, but if it doesn't, that's great. The other thing that I was going to introduce was the... Oh. No, not the internet currency taxation. It was the law and order policy on the internet, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was... What was it? Internet censorship? Yeah, okay. Internet censorship is what we need. Keep them here. Yep. We want to keep the liberals happy. Patriots and liberals love me, by the way, which is excellent. In fact, everyone loves me. Nobody hates me. I'm not even bothering to check my threat assessment because it's so darn good. Oh. Okay. This is incredible. Pollution ended. Respiratory disease ended. Water shortage ended. Credit rating downgraded. Honestly, not fantastic. Gridlock now is going to exist. I have absolutely no idea why on earth traffic congestion has now completely shot up. Car usage has gone way, way up since we got driverless cars. Blame it on the boogie. Blame it on the driverless cars. Okay, I've even achieved an achievement that I wasn't even aiming for. Children are our future. Let's be honest, we've all made a total mess of our lives, but we can pretend it's because we're all doing it for the next generation. Will they thank us for the sacrifices we make for them? Spoiler, no. Hey, congratulations to me. I didn't realize that was a thing. So what did I need to do in order in order to achieve that. Children are our future. Children are our future. Education, free school meals, child benefit, child care provision, youth subsidies, free parenting classes, and no one-child policy. That's pretty nice. Oh, we're still at maxed out political capital here. It's not good. It's not good at all. Well, the good news is that we're about to hit a debt crisis. That's kind of fun, right? We're about to hit a debt crisis? Yeah, we're about to hit a debt crisis. That's interesting. But, you know, apart from that, that's cool. Technological developments, energy efficiency. Maybe we need international fusion research. That's what we need, right? I want capital controls so badly. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's gonna happen. Human cloning research grants. Unfortunately, I don't think that that's gonna affect our internet speed. Same with the banning of stem cell research. Internet censorship. General media censorship. Neither of those sound particularly great. Maybe wiretapping is gonna advance internet speed. I don't actually know. Anyway, let's implement this. Extreme cases. It's going to reduce fake news. It's going to reduce fake news, which is nice. Great. I mean, we can get rid of fake news, which is fantastic. Maybe that'll allow us to get more socialist members. Maybe? I don't know. Also, we can expect the debt crisis modifier to happen really, really soon. Female leader has been elected. Excellent. Unemployment has started to pick up pace. Gridlock is now developed. Again, not entirely sure where all of this traffic congestion came from. It's just everyone's got a brand new driverless car and wants to go out and drive it. Luddite riots feeds into brain drain crime, decreases productivity, and increases violent crime, which is insane. Absolutely insane. It's because we are, like, at 100% industrial automation, and there is nothing that I can do about it, unfortunately. Are any of our green circles going to end anytime soon? Driverless cars ain't ending. Luddite riots haven't slowed down the equality in the country. The private space industry does look like it's on the way down because of GDP decreasing, but I doubt it's going to get below the stop trigger. The technological advance is looking fine. The rare earth crisis is definitely here to stay at this point. Let's be brutally honest. It's definitely here to stay. What's my max political capital? We're up to 48. We're up to 48 political capital. That's great. 2.6. You just need to like me a little bit more. But liberals really started to dislike me, actually. We can start cutting. We can start cutting back on, like, some law and order policies. Yeah, so we can cut, like, stuff here. What body cameras. Liberals like body cameras. Border controls. Broken manifesto pledge. Everyone hates that. Complacency. Executive term limit. Firearm laws. Freedom of information. Internet censorship. Intelligence services. I mean, internet censorship has, like, literally no value to me. I can absolutely scrap that if I need to. I mean, look, all I've learned is that I have absolutely zero idea how the heck I can increase my internet speed. It doesn't. I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no idea how I increase my internet speed. Anyway, when are we getting a debt crisis? Probably pretty darn soon. Probably right now. Very much right now. Okay, credit rating has been downgraded again. Our GDP is continuing to tumble, but that's okay. We can solve this with capital controls, comrade. Don't worry. The state will survive. The state will survive. The teachers' strike, crazily enough, still exists. I have absolutely no idea how that can exist in a socialist state, but that's okay. Corporate exodus is showing no signs of leaving. I mean, look, if I wasn't a prouder socialist, I would get rid of all of these things which are spurring on the companies leaving. But as it stands, it is what it is. Also, I should point out that there is absolutely zero chance. There is absolutely zero chance that I will ever fix this rare earth crisis because the years are marching onwards. I can't actually see there, but it's 51 plus 51%. Caused due to the year, it is now pretty much impossible, as far as I'm aware, to get the value below the stop trigger. So even if this rare earth crisis had been better handled, and I'd have kept it below the start trigger up until now, we would still be faced with this problem at this moment in time anyway. Same with the Luddite riots, right? I mean, we have no alternative. Brain drain is literally maxed out as well, so that's great. So there is almost nothing that we can do about some of these things, to be honest. So let's just pretend that we're unaware, and let's proceed to the next turn. Okay, GDP picks back up a little bit. Where is the global economy in all this? I have 116 billion pounds of deficit. Excellent. Love to see it. Where's the global economy in all this? The global economy is tumbling. The global economy is falling to bits, but that's okay. My country's falling to bits too. We can relate there. We can relate. Okay, I'm still at maximum 48 political capital. That means one of you guys is holding back. Who is it? Is it you, Clyde? You're so close to liking me at a maximum amount. You're pretty close to liking me at a maximum amount, too. What do patriots dislike? Let me have a little look-see, shall we? Happiness, strength, military spending. Funding the military a lot, to the tune of 16 billion a turn, makes liberals a tiny bit unhappy, but it makes patriots a heck of a lot more happy. So let's do that. And then let's also see if we can find a policy that liberals at the moment are unhappy with. I tell you what, gender equality, we can sort this out, because that was the policy that I said that I was going to change, and I didn't. So maternity leave, let's fully fund this, or let's max it out. It's going to destroy productivity. It's going to increase the corporate exodus, but it's also going to increase gender equality, which is kind of nice. Is there anything else maybe that I can do to improve gender equality? I think, crazily enough, I think legalizing sex work does actually... No, okay, turns out it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that at all. I thought it did. I was wrong. I'm sorry, video game. I will increase GDP, though, which is great. Conservatives hate it, though. Religious people hate it. And also parents hate it, too. Is anyone religious? Nobody's religious here. However, parents do, do represent a fairly significant portion of my cabinet. Screw it, sure. All right. I mean, look, things are not looking good, but I'm hoping that I'm gonna get some emergency powers at some point soon. I guess we'll see, right? Ban animal testing. Ban the animal testing. Sure. Environmentalists freaking love it. If it just so happens that I have to deal with this in debt, I have to deal with this in debt. But so far, we've got the... Wow, with the Squeeze the Rich achievement we haven't managed to get yet. Luxury goods tax. Yes, I've got it. Frequent flyer tax. I've got it maxed. Punitive wealth tax. I've got it maxed. Cap CEO pay multiplier. I've got it maxed, I believe. Inheritance tax, I don't have maxed. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. I need to do that. I think that's it, though. Trade union ban at companies. Okay. Trade unions cannot be banned at companies, and also government subsidies for unions need to be implemented, which I'm pretty sure I've actually already implemented, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I think that we pump up... the inheritance tax thing, which is easily done. Emergency powers, brilliant. Capital controls for everyone, and this time they're staying in place. You're gosh darn right that they are. Hey, good to see. Intergalactic Socialism. Obviously, if Karl Marx was alive today, he would be congratulating you not only on your contributions towards socialism, but also your plans to export socialism to the stars. We look forward to the first socialist republics on the moon and Mars. Excellent! I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. But so far, we've achieved pretty much every single achievement that we've set out to achieve, and more. And now we're just trying to work towards this last squeezing the rich achievement. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, things are good. I like this. This is looking great. Apart from the fact that our country is falling to bits and we're running a deficit of 120 billion pounds a turn, we've got nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. Okay, GDP has now almost completely collapsed, but that's okay. We've been we've been here before. Rule out first strike, sure. Doesn't particularly matter. I've got 70 political capital, which I'm pretty sure is just about as high as I can go, which is great because it allows me to do a whole bunch of stuff here. First and foremost, capital controls. Capital controls. Let's implement this. Let's max this out. Let's max this out. Brain drain is gonna be decimated. Foreign investment is gonna be decimated. Business confidence is gonna take a little bit of a decrease. But that's okay. Okay, capital controls, very, very important. Inheritance tax, let's also make sure that this is bumped up to the max. Ideally, we're going to need to max it out next turn as well. But honestly, I think that the capital controls will be enough to bring this back down under control. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, right? Okay. GDP has increased a little bit. I mean, to be honest, couldn't really go much lower, so nice to see. Unemployment also seems to be getting back under control, which is great. We're now running a deficit of 178 billion pounds a turn. Importantly, oh, look at how close that is. Look at how close brain drain is to fixing itself. Luddite riots. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going anywhere. I mean, the police force, can we deal with that? Nah, not really. It might be worth me just, debt crisis. Yeah, don't worry about debt crisis. Corporate exodus is going to end too. It might be worth me trying to tweak a couple of values here just to see what we can do in order to make sure that we're able to end brain drain. Because if we end brain drain and corporate exodus, then, you know, we're sitting pretty for the foreseeable future. However, before we deal with that, let's max out inheritance tax, because that is actually quite important for us. So we'll do that. Wonderful. We still have emergency powers. I don't think that there is, unfortunately, a way that we can manipulate emergency powers to be around forever, unless, of course, we turn into a man with a small mustache on his upper lip. But you know, that's not for now. That's perhaps for later. We'll see, though. Okay, hunger strike, allow visits. Sure. Excellent. Everybody likes that. That's brilliant to see. Absolutely brilliant to see. Have we maxed out our political capital from everyone? Almost. Almost everyone loves us, which is great. We are at max 100% popularity, which is great. I mean, it shouldn't be this way. You know, we are practically a dictatorship with emergency powers, which is crazy. We have a debt crisis. We got a brain drain. We got a corporate exodus. Not to mention the fact that we got a food crisis. We got a rare earth crisis. And we've got riots in the street. Not to mention a teacher's strike. And there's an epidemic of fake news going around. And yet, I have 100% popularity. Okay, video game. The middle income hate me. But that's okay. Apparently. Because nobody cares about being middle income or something. I don't know. Literally, the middle income despise me. The wealthy also despise me. I mean, 88% of the population is in the middle income, financial group. But socialists love me. Socialists love me. Environmentalists, they had a little bit of a dip, but they love me too. Patriots also love me. Liberals are getting there. They definitely like me. State employees like me. Farmers like me. And pretty much everyone, to be honest, likes me, apart from flipping motorists. Motorists is like the largest group that I'm upset with, that they don't like me. Threat assessment wise, I mean, look, we're doing fine. Nobody's threatening me. Nobody is threatening me at all. Right. I think we're gonna achieve this achievement next turn. Or the turn after. Certainly soon, anyway. Okay, GDP is on the way up, which is great. Brilliant. Unemployment is back down to 0, which is good. Petrol protests are going to begin. However, is everyone not already in an electric car? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Maybe I should just boost the price of petrol by taxing petrol more. If I did that, maybe we could squeeze more people into electric cars. Driverless electric cars, mind you. Driverless electric cars. That's what we're all about. I mean, is there any way that I can get rid of this debt crisis? I mean, I can, but only if I sort out... Only if I sort out something. I mean, these riots, for example, like, I don't think that there's any way that I can... I don't think there's any way that I can deal with this. I mean, maybe a tax on automation. A tax on automation would be good. It's going to absolutely torpedo... Here's the problem. It's going to absolutely torpedo driverless cars. It's going to exacerbate drain brain and corporate exodus. And it's going to decrease... It's going to decrease... I thought it was going to decrease my technological advantage, but it's not. So I'm just going to scrap that. I've got plenty of political capital anyway. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I kind of feel like I need to appease the Luddites, to be honest, because this is a big old pain in the backside, this policy, anyway. Maybe we just fund the police force? I mean, look, money's not a problem. Money is not an object at this moment in time. Education is pretty much maxed out. It's close to maxing out, but it's not quite there. That's even with an insanely effective teacher strike. International fusion research. I feel like national service should be a thing that we do, right? I mean, why the heck not, right? Why the heck not? Toll roads, subsidized school buses, sure. That seems like a reasonable policy. Also, international fusion research. Let's give this a shot. Technology, oil demand, energy efficiency, foreign relations, and all of that good stuff. I mean, look, since we're just throwing money down the drain at this point, we might as well throw more money down the drain, right? Okay, GDP is just in the gutter, but apparently nobody is that bothered about it, which is great. Very, very happy with that. 36 political capital coming in each and every turn, up to a maximum of 70 with the emergency powers cap, which is just oh so nice. Debt crisis is still in play. Brain drain is still here. I mean, look, the luxury goods tax, can I just, like, get rid of this luxury goods tax? If I get rid of the luxury goods tax, then that will fix our problem, right? We don't even need to get rid of it that much. I tell you what we'll do. We're going to massively scale back the luxury goods tax for, like, a couple of turns, and then we're immediately going to bring it back. Punitive Wealth Tax. Again, I feel like this is the other thing that we're after, right? We scale this right the way back. So punitive wealth, and luxury goods, right? So between both of those policies, we should be able to fix... like, the vast majority of problems in our country, I think. The debt crisis, look, it's a big old pain in the backside, but frankly, there is no way to fix the debt crisis unless we get on top of the GDP issue. Situation imminent, petrol protests, that's fine. Honestly, the oil price I think should come down now, if I'm not mistaken. Oil supply is decreasing, so oil price is increasing. But that's okay. That is absolutely a-okay. Yeah, so debt crisis is still here. Brain drain is going to end next turn, which is great. Corporate exodus, I would imagine, is probably going to end a turn after that. There's 8 turns of inertia. There's 8 turns of inertia on the punitive wealth tax. Yeah. So we've got that to look forward to. So it's going to take a couple of turns for that to end. Brain drain is now ended, which is great. GDP is going to start to recover in a major way. We're going to keep these capital controls. We're going to keep these capital controls imposed, because otherwise, well, I mean, why the heck not, right? There's no reason not to. We're up at 72 political capital. That's ridiculous. I tell you what, since we're splashing our cash, is there anything else that we want to do? Not really. Oh, yes, no, there is something that I want to do. The luxury goods tax, which I reduced in order to get us below. I'm actually going to increase again, because now that brain drain has ended, we can actually max it out. But because we've got capital controls this time, it's going to be kept under the start trigger, which means that it's never gonna happen. Okay, we are just able to borrow apparently on a fantastic line of credit. It doesn't even impact our game at this point, which is just kind of crazy. I literally don't think that we've ever been more indebted, ever. Yeah, 4 trillion pounds worth of debt. Kind of bonkers, actually. Kind of bonkers. Corporate exodus might end next turn. The food crisis has ended. Excellent. GDP, another strong quarter of growth. Excellent. Allow fracking a go. Oil supply up. GDP up. Brilliant. Love to see it. Love to see it. Corporate exodus is almost certainly going to end next turn, which is good. Very, very good. I like that a lot. So what this allows us to do, is pump back up the punitive wealth tax. That's right. You heard me. You heard me. We are gonna encourage a corporate exodus. You know what? Those businesses that think that they can leave, not a chance. Not a chance. Next turn, I know for a fact that the corporate exodus is going to end, which is grand. And then after that, we're gonna be able to reimpose the tax, which is great. The rare earth crisis, yeah. I mean, look, this is not gonna end anytime soon. Same with the teacher strike. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen at all. We are forever committed to the fact that the teachers are gonna be striking. The thing is I do want actually to see the emergency powers end, because if the emergency powers end, then it's gonna give me a an accurate reflection of exactly where or exactly how much political capital my cabinet give me. Either way, that's the corporate exodus ending. As you probably were able to see, GDP is up substantially. I mean, look at that. A huge increase, which is really, really nice. Our debt to GDP ratio is now only 285%, and that's actually going to decrease next turn. Or should I say the ratio is going to improve next turn, which is great. Teacher strike, that's still kicking around. The rare earth crisis as well, that's still kicking around too. Yep. Luddite riots. I mean, look, the Luddite riots are here to stay, I think. I don't think that there is any question about that. Don't think that there is any question about that whatsoever. Biofuel subsidies, car emission limits. We can introduce car emission limits. Sure. What the heck? Doesn't make any difference. Electric car transition. Let's go. Let's go full tilt. Full tilt. Motorists don't like it, but that's fine. I can just about endure that. Foreign investment restrictions. No. Don't particularly feel the need for any of that. Oil drilling subsidies. Indirectly reduce fuel prices and stimulate the economy. I mean, sure, right? I mean, environmentalists are absolutely going to despise it, and it's going to cost me 34 billion a turn. But at the end of the day, I mean, what the heck, right? What the heck? National monorail system. Let's get a national monorail system too, eh? Brilliant. Okay, another 40 billion in spending commitments that turn. I mean, look, even if our GDP improves up to the max, because we cannot go past the cap, there is basically no way to recover. There is basically no way to recover from this absolutely nonsense situation that we've managed to find ourselves in. Brilliant. Housing expansion, fantastic. That's looking really, really good. So at the end of the day, we're only running a deficit of 188 billion. Only a deficit of 188 billion. And emergency powers, the fact that that's still a thing is just insane. Yeah, so it turns out there is a way to manipulate these emergency powers, being on at all times. As long as you're in an emergency situation, you'll have an emergency powers. So the life hack for you is always find yourself in an emergency situation, and then you'll be able to get access to these emergency powers. The crazy thing is the people love me. I do believe that the developer has said that he's going to change. He's going to change the popularity thing. Because, I mean, it shouldn't be possible that you're able to run, like, a massive deficit and the entire world hates you, but apparently your people love you. I mean, like, that just doesn't seem real, to be honest. But you know what? I think that's gonna bring us to the end of this socialist playthrough. As I was saying, let me know what you would like to see as a themed playthrough next time. We managed to achieve all of the achievements that I set out to achieve and more, with the exception of living in the future, which, you know, unfortunately, we're not able to manipulate the speed of the internet. Where's the speed of the internet? Where's it disappeared to? That's inflation, which is actually fine. This one, yeah, so I have no idea how we can improve internet speed. I don't think there are any policies for me to improve internet speed, but there we go. I guess we'll have to see what exactly happens. Either way, a huge number of achievements and a pretty darn good job, if indeed I do say so myself. Viva la Revolution, Intergalactic Socialism, top marks, Workers' Wonderland, and Children Are Our Future, all over the course of a single episode. Well, apart from that one. Either way, folks, thank you very much for watching. If, as ever, you're interested in helping make videos like this possible, check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/potato. Thanks to Banana Nana and C Senpai for being the two $25 plus tier patrons, and I will see you in the next episode of Democracy 4. Thanks for watching. Bye.